So please join me everyone in welcoming Prof. to deliver her talk entitled Nasopharyngeal Carcinoma in Malaysia, a path towards better outcomes.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you, Prof. Chong, for the very kind introduction. I hope you have a good lunch. Today I'm going to share with you guys an overview on a cancer type called nasopharyngeal carcinoma and what is the situation in Malaysia and what we are doing. So nasopharyngeal carcinoma, NPC in short, is a cancer type that is located at this specific region called nasopharynx, which is located at the back of the nose. So sometimes it's referred as a nose cancer, because for laymen, it's very difficult to pronounce nasopharyngeal carcinoma or NPC. So sometimes people call it nose cancer. And NPC is considered as a distinct type of head and neck cancer because it has a number of unique features. And one of them is the association with a virus called Epstein-Barr virus, EBV in short. Okay, it's very sensitive. And EBV is the first human tumor virus that was discovered in 1964. And by 1985, the link between EBV and NPC was confirmed. And vast majority of the NPC cases are EBV positive. So this is the worldwide cancer incident data. Why is it moving? And maybe there's no surprise to see that at the top here is lung, breast, and colorectal. And then for NPC, you have to scroll down the list all the way, and only that you can find NPC there. Does it mean that NPC is not so common, that's why it's not an important cancer? So, well, it depends. So, one of the unique features of NPC is skewed distribution. There was about 100,000 new cases diagnosed in 2022, and more than 83% of them came from Asia. So let's zoom into Asia. In terms of number of cases, the absolute number, more than 50% of the cases occur in China. And actually, NPC was referred as Cantonese cancer in the past because of the high prevalence of the disease in southern China, like Hong Kong and Guangzhou. But now we also know that NPC also occur in non-Chinese people, such as Indonesia, India, Vietnam, and Philippines. So where does Malaysia stand when we talk about NPC? We need to look at the age standardized rate, the incident rate, because of the size of the population will affect the incident rate. So Malaysia currently ranked number 4 in the world in terms of NPC. So there's no doubt to say that Malaysia is an endemic region of this disease. So within Malaysia, this data is 2022, and NPC is the 6th most common cancer. And it's the first time outside the top 5 for 20 years. It was not because the number of NPC has reduced, it was because the number of other cancers actually increased. So the 4 cancer types in the box, actually the number of cases are quite similar. So in Malaysia, we have different ethnicities. And why this thing moving without me?
You want to try use mouse? Just the mouse. Yeah.
The mouse?
Yeah, you try and see.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah. I don't want to touch that. Yeah, so in Malaysia, NPC also very, the most common in Chinese, followed by Malay, and then very rare in Indian. But you can see here, the people grouped under others also have a relatively high incident rate. And in fact, NPC is very common in Sabah and Sarawak. And papers published in 2004 and 2023. And think they want me to don't talk too much. Is it?
Is that time? Do you have animations?
Animation, yeah.
Oh, we just turn on the animation.
Then it's quite difficult to because of the animation.
Yeah, because it's set with a timer.
Okay, then disable it. You have to disable one by one.
Most of them will have animation.
Okay.
But which one will you on?
Yeah. Okay, it looks like it's the animation. Yes.
I'll just say here. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Next slide. Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. So the papers published in 2004 and 2023 and show that the native people Bidayu in Sarawak had the highest incident rates of NPC in the world. And our cancer registry data also show that NPC is the most common cancer in Sarawak. So this is the roadmap for NPC management. It's more or less similar to all types of cancer. So it starts from awareness and prevention, and screening and early detection, diagnosis, treatment, rehab and palliative care, and then surveillance. So unfortunately in NPC, there are challenges in every single step along the road. Next please. So we did a questionnaire with 80 undergrad students to test their knowledge on NPC from 5 different aspects. And then the results show that the average score for overall knowledge is only 39%, which is categorized as poor. And for screening and early detection, currently there is no test is cost effective. And because the symptoms in early stage are very unspecific, so people tend to overlook the warning sign. So it results in when people have the big lump in the neck, then only then they go and see doctor. So more than 70% of the cases diagnosed at late stage, and this makes the treatment more difficult, and then the patients suffer from high morbidity and poor quality of life. And in terms of treatment, the standard treatment for NPC is concurrent chemoradiotherapy, and currently there is no targeted therapy in use in the clinic. And some countries, they use immunotherapies for selected patients. But in Malaysia, immunotherapy is privatized, meaning that you can get it if you can pay for it. And for rehab, it's also limited rehab services and lack of support groups. And surveillance is, Malaysia is doing this standard follow-up procedure. And the main challenge is the late detection of recurrence, because if you have a follow-up like every 6 months or every year, so you might not be able to catch the recurrence early. And unfortunately, distant match is a major cause of death for NPC. So last year, Ministry of Health established this cancer expert working group to set out the next national strategic plan for cancer control. So for NPC working group, we have experts from different fields to identify challenges and to formulate plans forward. So as a, next please, as a NPC researchers and the head of the NPC society, I'm going to share with you how our work fit into this roadmap. Next please. So one of the mission of the NPC society, next. One of the missions of the NPC society is to promote awareness of the disease. So we conduct outreach activity regularly, including hosting the educational booth, provide free endoscopy screening and also expert forum. So we hope that at some point we'll be able to work with MOH and other NGO to organize a national awareness campaign for this disease. And next one, please. Just now I mentioned that NPC is closely related with EBV. And a qPCR test to measure plasma EBV DNA has been well established. And in some countries like Hong Kong, China, and Singapore, they actually have used this test to integrate this test into their patient management. For example, for screening, Hong Kong has used this test to do screening for high-risk region or individuals, but the cost effectiveness is debatable. And they also use this one to stratify patients for treatment. Okay, 10 minutes left. It's quite scary. And then most importantly is for monitoring. So they use the EBV DNA level to determine whether the cancer has come back. But in Malaysia, this test is not routinely used in any of the steps because of the cost issue. So some clinicians, they will ask because the patient need to pay for the test. So it's again, if you can afford, then you can get it. So for our research, we try to tackle two primary challenges. With the effort to promote awareness, we aim to close the distance between awareness and early detection, and also establish a referral pathway for diagnosis. So this to downstage the disease. In order to downstage the disease, we need to develop a reliable early detection method, which is essential. And the other area that we focus on is to develop novel options for treatment. We aim to develop precision medicine through the understanding of the molecular pathogenesis of the tumor. And recently we have started a project on drug repurposing to develop an affordable treatment options. So I mentioned just now that EBV NPC is very closely associated with the virus EBV. And then the fact that the presence of EBV in every NPC tumor cells has provided opportunity for the biomarker development. But yet, as suggested by the title of this review, which we published quite a number of years ago, there are still many things that we don't know about the virus. So I started my NPC research many years ago, more than 10 years now. And we used the Affymetrix microarray to identify gene signatures of Malaysian NPC for the first time. And we thought that because NPC is a highly metastatic cancer, so we thought that it's very important to look at genes or pathways that are involved in the migration and invasion of the cells. So over the years, next please. Over the years, we have identified a number of genes and pathways that contribute to these phenotypes. And this result has contributed to the understanding of the molecular basis of the tumor and can serve as a potential therapeutic option. Next please. I mentioned earlier that NPC is very common in Sabah and Sarawak. But unfortunately, there is not much data available on NPC from non-Chinese patients. So this led us to start this project to look for the similarity or differences of NPC between Chinese and non-Chinese patients from three different aspects. And my group is focusing on the molecular characteristic of the tumor. So the question that we would like to address was, one day if we have this new test or new drugs, even if the new test or new drugs developed by other countries, can they be used in Malaysia in non-Chinese patients? So we We aim to identify EBV antibody signature by using sample from different ethnicities. And from here you can see that compared to the healthy control, there are a number of antibodies are significantly higher in NPC patient. And this result was consistent when the analysis was done on ethnicity base. So the red dot is NPC, the gray dot is healthy control. And when you look at NPC alone, you can see that the antibody profiles are more or less similar. So which means that when we develop or identify novel biomarkers through this study, those will be applicable to patients in Malaysia, regardless of ethnicity. We also use, next one please. We also use Bidayu, Chinese and Iban tumor to do RNA sequencing. And based on the all human genes and EBV gene, which about 25,000 of them, there is no obvious cluster. So which means that NPC with different ethnicity are closely related. Next one. So we went on to identify gene signature in Chinese and Bidayu separately and focus on the commonly deregulated genes. So the aim was to identify biomarkers that again is applicable to all patients in Malaysia. Now we're back to next one. To EBV. EBV has two life cycles, latent and lytic. And latent infection has been well recognized as the predominant mode of infection in NPC, with a limited set of latent gene expression. So these few genes has been regarded as the key molecule to drive the disease development. This is what we thought in the past, many years. And from our RNA-seq data, we saw that the lytic genes are more widely expressed than previously recognized. And we're particularly interested in two lytic genes, which are involved in immune evasion. The first one is called BNLF2A. So it is genes that disrupt MHC class 1 presentation and also has been shown to express in the EBV-associated cancer, gastric cancer. So we confirmed the expression in NPC from the different RNA-seq database and also confirmed the mRNA expression using RNA-seq. And part of the result has already been published. And the second genes that we are interested in is called BUF1. It's also involved in immune evasion, but with different mechanism. And again, we confirm the expression of BUF1 in NPC from the mRNA level, from the RNA-seq database, and also RNA-seq. And importantly, we managed to show that BUF1 protein is expressed. It took us a long time to get this work because we need to custom make an antibody to show that. So the next question that we asked was, what does BUF1 do in NPC? Is the expression relevant or not? So we overexpress BUF1 in nasopharyngeal epithelial cell lines and send for sequencing to identify genes that are regulated by BUF1 to see their overlap with the gene signature from primary NPC tissue. And we are quite excited to see this because the genes upregulated by BUF1 are significantly overlapped with the gene signature, with the gene overexpressed in primary NPC tissue. And same goes to the downregulated genes. So this suggests that BUF1 expression is relevant in NPC pathogenesis. So to cut the long story short, we also did some functional study and showed that BUF1 promote various malignant phenotypes. and we treat the cell with AKT inhibitor and show that BIF1 promote migration through AKT activation. Okay, 1 minute slide, and my summary slide. It's very rushed. And okay, I show you the situation of NPC in Malaysia, and we thought that a path to improve NPC patient outcomes can be through promoting awareness, streamline the use of plasma EBV DNA, and to downstage NPC. We need to develop a reliable and affordable test for early detection. And we also can develop novel treatment options, and EBV-based therapy is only one example. There are many other options that an NPC researcher are currently doing. So at last, I would like to thank a few people, especially my colleagues and my lab member in University Malaya. And most of the work are collaborative work. So we also would like to thank my collaborators from different institutes from different countries. Thank you.